Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope everyone is doing fine. Alhamdulillah, in the last class we discussed a very easier rule called as a ghunna. In today's class we are going to discuss inshallah ta'ala the rule called as Qhalqhala. This is again a very easy topic. Mashallah, may Allah make it easy for all of us. Let us get into this. So if you can compare what was ghunna about, ghunna was about nasalization, right? So here in Qhalqhala what happens is, you have got to picturize this, it is bouncing. Okay, so when you throw a ball, right now, so what happens, it hits the ground, and what happens to it, it bounces back. Yes, it pitches, it bounces back. The same thing happens when you're reciting. How does a word or a letter bounce, and which are the letters that will bounce? The conditions inshallah ta'ala we will see. Okay, so ghunna ke letters the mim and noon, right? So here the letters of Qhalqhala kaun se hain? Qhalqhala letters are 5 and they are qa, ta, ba, ja, da. So you can just abbreviate them and remember it as qatabajad, qatabajad. Okay, please take care, this is not kha. Yes, ये throat वाला नहीं है, this is the tongue. Okay, तो qatabajada. Okay, hopefully you have understood. Now even in ghunna, just mim and noon did not give you the nasal sound, right? So some another requirement was also there, and the requirement was shadda. So just like that, here in Qhalqhala, qatabajada, along with this there is one more requirement, and that is you should always have sukoon above them. Okay, so you should have qatabajada and you must have sukoon over them, then only the Qhalqhala comes. Okay, so in the Quran that I showed you yesterday, we studied about the orange color, right? In today's we are actually going through the green. So dekhein, mim shadda, noon shadda, all that was ghunna, right? In today's class we are going to see about what? The green color. And you can just see yahan par it is qa with sukun, here also qa with sakin, and here jim with sukun. As I said, green color sirf ab kisko aayega, only for qa, ta, ba, ja, da. You can not find any other letter apart from them. देखो ba again, qatabajada में ही आएगा, again ba sakin, again jim sakin, da sakin. Hope you have just understood the pattern, right? So Qhalqhala kab aayega? When you have got 5 letters. Which are the letters, by the way? qa, ta, ba, ja, da, along with sukun. Okay, if qa is having zabar, zer, pesh or fatha, kasra, dhamma, you will not have Qhalqhala. Okay, so this is the identification. You should have these 5 letters with sukoon on them. Okay, now how to read? As I said, you bounce and you read. Okay, so how do you do it? For example, we will take this one. Okay, this example, and it will be like this: a, ha, and d. When you have this, you don't read this as ahad, qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad. You don't read it that way. Then what do? You bounce this letter, ahad, ahad. Yes, that bouncing is there. Similar to that, yaj'al, you don't do yaj'al, rather what do? Ya, then jim you will be bouncing, al, yaj'al. Understanding na? So jim you are bouncing, yaj'al, you don't do yaj'al. Okay, now we'll just see few examples inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so in here you can see these are the 5 letters with sukoon, and they are the Qhalqhala letters. And you can have Qhalqhala in 2 ways. Automatically in a word you can have, yes, examples in word. So these are the Qhalqhalas that automatically comes. Examples of the end of the words. That means what? In the previous classes we have seen, right? If the word is ending with fatha, it is stopped as a sakin letter. If it is dhammatain or kasra, everything it stops as a sukun, right? So what will happen? Now examples in a word, automatically आ जाता है. Examples at the end of words, when you're stopping, then only it is gonna come. Okay, so in the example in words, all this encircled, whatever is circled na, those letters are Qhalqhala letters. And how do you read? Not uqsimu. Uqsimu is wrong, rather you must bounce on it. So it will be uqsimu, uqsimu. Okay, what about this one? Khalaqna, khalaqna, no, bounce again. Khalaqna, khalaqna. What about this one? At'amahum, no, bounce again. At'amahum, at'amahum. This one, tathira, no, bounce again. It will be yes, you might have tried tathiran. Okay, I'm bouncing, and it is also heavy. You must not do tat. Okay, t is not the heavy letter. Ta is going to be the heavy letter along with the Qhalqhala letter. All the examples follow. Hablum, yes, hablun. Then it is qablika, qablika. The next example goes like tajri. If you say tajri, it is wrong. Taj, you're bouncing. Fajri. Qad aflaha, aflaha. Lam yalid. And these letters, the examples, khalaqa becomes khalaqa when you're ending. Muhitun becomes muhit. Yes, and so on. So one more thing what you have got to understand is, whenever these letters are there, these 5 letters, you do Qhalqhala, alhamdulillah. But when apart from these 5 letters, you must not bounce the letters. For example, if you have just now we just saw the example, right? And fa was having sukoon, and laam and ha was there. So how did you read? Aflaha. If you would have read it like that, it was wrong. Why? Fa is not the Qhalqhala letter, and if you're telling af, then it is the Qhalqhala that you're giving. Yes, only qad you must have given, qad, not aflaha. Rather you must have read it as aflaha. Okay, similar to that, we get confusion between lam, sakin, and we do bounce it there also. How? Alhamdu, that's the right way. If somebody is doing alhamdu, no, knowingly and unknowingly will just make this mistake. So try to remember, only bounce on khata bajada that has got sukun, and don't bounce on any other letter. Okay, you must not add something to the letter, and you must not take something out from the letter. Okay, alhamdulillah. Hopefully this concept is clear. So as of now, what did you know? 5 letters khata bajada with sukun does Qhalqhala. What is Qhalqhala? The bouncing. Okay, if that is all over, then you have got a little more in detail concept. What is the concept? Now the level of Qhalqhala na, it increases. So in few places you will just do a little bit of Qhalqhala, other places a bit heavier you'll do, and on some other places a bit more. Only 3 stages are there. The lowest form of Qhalqhala, where you just bounce a little bit, that is called as Qhalqhalatul Sughra. Qhalqhalatul Sughra. Sughra, Saghir is chota, right? So it is the small, very chota sa Sughra. Okay, then it is the bigger one. Big, Bada, Kabir, Kubra. Okay, so what do you do? Qhalqhalatul Kubra. So here the pitching, the bouncing is a bit more. Okay, not too much, a bit more compared to Sughra. Now Kubra se bhi badh ke kya hoga? Azim, Uzma. Okay, Qhalqhalatul Uzma. So Qhalqhalatul Sughra, Qhalqhalatul Kubra, and Qhalqhalatul Uzma. Okay, now when does that come? So how to identify them? Obviously till now you know 5 letters with sakin should come. Now based on the position you will understand where does Qhalqhala come. How come the position? Consider any word like 4 letter, 3 letter. So I have just taken 5 lettered word here. Obviously starting में तो नहीं आ सकता the Qhalqhala word. Why? In Quran you don't start anything with sukun or shadda, right? तो यहाँ पर तो Qhalqhala नहीं आ सकता. Qhalqhala just can't come there. So you have got 4 more places. Okay, now if you get the Qhalqhala letter anywhere in between, say in this position or this, then it is Qhalqhalatu Sughra. You must bounce on the letter slightly, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं करना, just a bit. Okay, so what is the explanation? Qhalqhalatu Sughra, when does it come? When it is somewhere in the middle of the word, not at the starting, not at the ending. That is Sughra. What about Kubra? Just consider the same word, XYZ, कुछ भी एक letter है. Here the Qhalqhala word is at the end. Here is the Qhalqhala letter. Okay, not at the starting, not in between, but at the ending. So you will do a bit more. Okay, what about Uzma? Now starting and middle part we just excluded. What is remaining? Kubra is again, it is the same, just like Uzma is as same as Kubra, but here you will also have Shadda over this word. Okay, this letter. So what happens? Sughra, the Qhalqhala letter is in between. Kubra, the Qhalqhala letter is at the end. And in Uzma, the Qhalqhala letter is at the end and it has got Shadda over it. Okay, and let me give you some examples, you will understand. So first I'll write adraka. So if you can see, obvious fact is this is Qhalqhala word and the Qhalqhala letter is dal sakin there, and you're gonna give a bit of a Qhalqhala and then you'll read adraka. You'll not do too much adraka, no, adraka, done. Okay, now in the next example I'll take my favorite ahad. Yes, if you can observe, again it's the same dal sakin just like in the first example, but here the level of Qhalqhala is more. Adraka ahad, ahad thoda zyada hua, right? Now the same thing if I'm gonna write it at the last, for example the same word, if it had dal shadda over there, then it will be too much of Qhalqhala. Then how do you read that? Ahad, ahad. Okay, let me go and show you some examples. Okay, here you have. देखिए, so in this, the first example here, yaqtuluna. What kind of example? Qa is in between, so that is going to be Qhalqhalatus Sughra. In here, al-falaq, the qaf ka position is at the end. Now it is going to be Kubra. Okay. Then if you see here, it is the qaf sakin with shadda, and you'll give a lot more Qhalqhala than the first two examples. It will be al-haq. You'll not do al-haq, just like falaq. Okay. Yaqtuluna, al-falaq, al-haq. Same. If you can see the examples of ba, right? यहाँ पर yubsiruna, yub, slight Qhalqhala. When you come here, waqab, थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा. Then at the end, tab, yeah, tab. In the surah Lahab also, how do you do? Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. You don't do wa tab like kasab, masad. No, you'll do a bit extra. Why? Wa tab. Ba is having shadda over there. Okay, so that was it for today's class. You have understood what is Qhalqhala, how many types are there, and what are the letters and what symbol comes. We will inshallah ta'ala meet in the next video. आज थोड़ा लंबा हो गया. Okay, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.